The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious podcast. I'm your host, the original HBIC, Katie Boyd. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously. Oh yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking Boyd. And over here is my favorite co-host.
Yes.
My only co-host, Matthew Martin Babine.
Hello, everybody. All right.
Are you ready for this today?
I am so ready. This is exciting.
This is all about you. The whole podcast.
When I read it, I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Like, this is like the Matt Babine podcast. I have to overcome this thing we're going to talk about
today. Truly, truly is. Procrastination Station. Are you on the train or are you under the train?
Yes.
That is the question today. But before we start, I want to talk about our fabulous sponsor, Ayana of Prana Hair, Skin, and Lash.com. Reach out to her. She's amazing. She microblades my eyebrows. She takes care of my lashes so I don't look so crazy.
So beautiful.
All the time.
Yes.
And if you tell her that this ambitious one sent you, you get $100 off your first microblading session. How's that sound?
That's good.
So I'm just going to get into this today because I feel like
we don't want to procrastinate.
We don't want to procrastinate. We just don't want to. Yeah. So I love my Facebook and my social media followers because they're like family, honestly.
Yes.
I crowdsource them all the time and they come up with the most incredible ideas for, what they want. And I truly desire to give the people who show up here week after week and they listen to this Ambitchious podcast and they share it and they, spread the word about the movement. I want to hook them up. So I asked a couple weeks ago on my Facebook what people really truly desire from the Ambitchious podcast. Like, what are you struggling with? What are your blocks? What's happening? And I think we got over 92 some odd comments and
great topics.
Oh my God, I have topics until 2021.
That's awesome. And you're hitting what the audience wants, which is great.
Right, because just because I like to talk about certain things doesn't mean my audience wants to hear what I want to talk about all the time, and I truly want to serve them. So this is actually from a girl named Jenna Williams, and she asked how I deal with procrastination. Mm-hmm. I'm not a procrastinator.
No.
I have tons of other issues in life. Tons, but procrastination is not my thing.
Yes.
Over here is the king of procrastination.
I am working on it.
Even today before we were coming
on it.
Even today before we were coming to the podcast, I said to him, I'm like, hey, I have to run by the store before the podcast. I have to pick up a couple things because I have a photo shoot tomorrow. And he's like, okay. And then it's time to go. And he's literally sitting at the dining room table with his hands down his pants, scratching God knows what, reading a book. I'm like, what are you doing? I have to go. And he's like, where are you going? I'm like, oh my God, hurry up. And then I just left him at home. I was like, just meet me at the podcast.
That's what I said.
What happened.
Yeah.
So a lot of you guys out there are struggling with procrastination. So we're going to talk all about how to really seriously cut this bad habit, because it's a bad habit and it's holding us back from being all that we can be.
Yes.
Do you not agree?
Oh, absolutely. Procrastination for me is I'm on it now.
Oh,
as of today.
God help us all. Seriously. So Mel Robbins, who is in the self-help space, she wrote a book called, what was it?
The name of her book.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know, but it's using 5-second rule. The 5
the 5-second rule.
Is that
That's
the name of it?
The name
Okay.
Hello.
I knew I could help you today at some point.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes, that was the book I was reading.
That's crazy.
So you're making fun of the book I was reading. It was the 5-second rule.
You need to read that a couple times.
I saved you.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So she once said, "You're not a procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastinating." So you are not the procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastinating. She also goes on to say that procrastination is a form of stress relief. So when I read this, I was like, that doesn't make sense to me at first, right? So then I started really like digging deep and saying to myself, like, what do I procrastinate ever? Right? Because I say I'm not a procrastinator.
Yes.
But I started to really, because I do R&D. I do research and development here for Ambitchious Podcast, right? I don't just slap together stuff like some podcasters do.
Right.
But I started thinking about, oh God, I should have never said that.
See?
I should have never said that.
So I knew I would arrive. Go ahead. Sorry, did I ruin your
stab you today?
Okay.
So no, I can actually do more than one thing at a time, other than like some people I know. So I started thinking about how procrastination in how it shows up in my life as a form of stress relief. And I started realizing, and you're going to totally agree with me.
Sure.
Is I love to have a clean environment. Everyone out there in Ambitchious land knows this. And I love to have my house clean. The floors have to be clean. Like everything has to be perfect. I don't care if people are coming over, they're not coming over, even if I'm home in my house by myself, whatever. I like my laundry a certain way. Everything has to be like a certain way.
Yes.
And I started realizing a couple weeks ago when I was doing all this R&D for this, that I will actually clean like a mofo instead of doing the things that I need to do that are going to help me move my needle forward. And I use it as a form of stress relief because I will say, when I clean the house, then I'll feel better and then I'll be more apt to do my work better, right?
Yes.
But then what happens? You clean the house for 7 hours and then you don't want to do any work.
And you're exhausted.
Right. And I also realize that when the house is clean, I get instant gratification. Like, I just did this thing. But that's not what's helping me go to the next level.
Right.
What do you think your form of stress relief is with procrastination?
Time when I get into doing something that I'm working on, whether it's like, let's say I have a meeting in Boston and I have to prep for it, I always wait to the last minute to prep for it. I don't know why. And it is procrastination. I used to use it in college and so forth and so on. It was like, I work best under pressure. No, I'm a procrastinator. And I need
you have a habit of procrastinating.
I have a habit of procrastinating and I'm working on it because I know it is a time suck. And then it's like, you look at the time and it's like, wow, I can't believe it's already time to do this. And I didn't do, my work as much as I should have up front. And I always put an unbelievable product together.
Of course.
But it would just give me so much less stress if I actually did it ahead of time.
Yes.
And stop using that excuse of the habit of procrastination.
I 100%
And I know there's a bunch of people out there that do the same thing. I mean, I know lawyers that do it. I know people that, they're like, no, I don't have to go to court till Wednesday. So I'll look at it. And they're unbelievable.
Let's not hire that person.
No, they're unbelievable, but that's just how they work sometimes,
But it's not really helping them.
It's not helping.
I guess if that's just how they work and they don't let it stress them out, that's fine. Right. But if you're doing the procrastination, you're stressing yourself, is that really good?
Yeah.
It's
not good for me. And I got to break the habit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so what I started doing last week is when I realized about the whole cleaning situation, I am now like, no, I'm not going to clean like a psychopath Portuguese lady from the 1700s. Okay.
You got to remember what you're cleaning to me is that I think it's already clean.
Right. Matt is like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm cleaning the floor. He's like, you've already swept the floor 3 times today. I'm like, mind your business. There was a grain of salt on the ground. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So today we're going to give you 5 concrete, real, no fluff, no bullshit ways that you can stop the habit of procrastinating no matter what your procrastination station is. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Okay. So number 1, get honest about your fear around the task or thing that you're procrastinating about. So the truth shall set you free.
Absolutely.
Right?
Identifying why you're procrastinating is everything. Right?
Yeah, like say it out loud. Be like, okay, I have this problem with procrastination, and this is why. Because you're only as sick as your secrets.
Right.
And mostly for your own self, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you just say like, listen, okay, I do this thing. Like for me, the example is, all right, Katie, you know that every time you have a deadline for your book or you have a deadline for work, you always do this whole like cleaning situation. If you know that that's your issue, say it out loud and then keep saying it out loud until you beat it over your head.
Yes.
And then that's when the change starts to come. That's the first step. Do you agree?
Yeah, recognition and starting to steer that ship in the right direction.
Absolutely. Yeah. Number 2, this is all inspired by you because Matt always tells me, like, I'll be like, I have all these things to do. And he's like, Katie, just chunk it down.
Yes.
What is the old adage? Like they say, if you want to eat an elephant, start with one piece at a time.
One piece
which
at a time.
is so gross. Yeah, I don't understand. That's kind of like a yucky old. Isn't that a yucky?
I don't want to eat an elephant.
I don't either. I love elephants.
But they're huge, and it's kind of like, how am I going to eat this thing? You know, it's like you have to take it one piece, one thing at a time. It's basically saying take the one task at a time. Mm-hmm. And I think you helped me with this because it was my desk is always we share a desk in our office, and it's a big size desk. My side is always a disaster.
It's actually a French writer's desk from the 1600s that I paid a lot of money for.
Yes,
and my side is like so beautifully meticulous, and his is just like someone fucking exploded everything. It's just like shrapnel.
And I know where everything is, but that's not this is the procrastination.
Matt, blow me. That's such a lie.
I would be.
You ask me 7 times a day, where is that one scrap of paper?
It's probably because you cleaned it.
Probably.
You probably cleaned it.
Probably.
Moved it.
I don't know if you noticed, but I did that this week.
So
did you notice that?
Yeah, I noticed that today. Yeah.
The whole time I was like,
I'll get into that afterwards.
I had all the papers and I'm like, I don't give a fuck if this aggravates you. But this makes me feel safe.
You feel safe now when my shit's all over the place neatly.
Right? So go ahead, talk about your messy desk.
Okay, so my desk is a disaster and I'm like, oh man, I know I could be more effective if it was cleaned and I just filed a bunch of stuff. But it's just like looking at it. It's the elephant, right? It's that thing. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this. I have so many other things I could be doing.
Yes, like smoke a cigar, scratch my balls.
Yeah, scratch my balls, smoke a cigar. I have all those things to eat. Go eat some pasta. But actually, you helped me with this. And I said one day I surprised the hell out of you. If you remember, it was like a Sunday afternoon, and I came down and I set a timer and I set it for 20 minutes, and I just went like a bastard for 20 minutes. And I also everything I picked up, I didn't pick it up and put it down. I picked it up and had a place for it.
Yes.
So I wouldn't
threw it in the trash because most of it's trash.
Or get rid of it. So I'd pick it up and I'd be like, okay, what am I doing? This is going to be filed. This is going to be acted upon. This is going to be whatever.
Yes.
The 20 minutes went by like that.
It was
so fast. And then I said it again and I'm like, wow, I did like an hour and a half or so of really getting this stuff done.
Absolutely.
But if I looked at it as a whole, it would have never got done, right? So I had to take the advice of chunking it down and really doing one thing at a time. Because I used to pick things up and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. And I'd put it back down in a different spot.
Agreed.
And nothing would happen with it, right?
Were you using the Ambitchious time technique?
I am and I listen to what you tell me.
You just take like way too long to do it.
I'm just not a pretty face here. I am
a great rack.
I am working with it's my great rack.
I love this. There's one quote that I love. I love a lot of Martin Luther King's quotes, but one of his quotes is, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step, which just pretty much means do one thing at a time until the task is done.
Yes. And it's also like you never think you're good enough or ready enough to do something, especially if it's a business deal or something you want to do. It's like, oh, I'll get there. I got to get my body this way. Or I got to get the team this way.
Yes.
That's procrastination.
It is.
Take messy action and fucking go.
Yes.
Right? Just do it. Right? Steal the Nike ad. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just start taking that messy action, and then all of a sudden it's that staircase analogy, right? You took that one step. Oh, I can start seeing things coming along.
Right.
But we tend to sit there and be like, oh, I don't want to do it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have these big index cards that I use for all of my different things that I'm doing. So I have like an index card just for like my book tasks.
Yes.
And index cards for like Katie Boyd's Fit Club or the podcast. So I have like all these separate index cards. And it's so awesome when you just like at the end of the day, you get to like that marker and you just like,
it feels
put
good.
The line through it.
And I'll tell you, it felt great.
Damn, makes me moist.
It was very moist. I was very moist myself.
Moist. Let me tell you, I just love doing things. Yes, doing things is what I like to do. Yes,
I like that song. Okay,
it's because it's the Dunkin' Donuts song. Do you know that they don't call Dunkin' Donuts? It's not Dunkin' Donuts anymore.
What is it?
It's just Dunkin'.
Really?
I didn't know this.
I didn't know that.
Because I made a Dunkin' Donuts joke in my book, and my editor was like, FYI, it's just Dunkin' now. And I was like, well, I don't fucking drink Dunkin' Donuts because it gives me the explosive shit.
But I do like their bagels, and I do like their other food. Every now and then, I will go in and have a Dunkin' Donuts.
You're so ketogenic.
Yes.
Damn.
And a cookie and those Halloween donuts.
What's a Halloween donut?
You never saw a Halloween donut?
Oh, it's got the munchkin in the middle.
What?
Yeah, munchkin.
There's a munchkin in the middle?
And it has all like Dracula sprinkles.
Like orange frosting on it, a chocolate.
Red leg, yellow leg dye, 248.
Then they draw the legs on the orange.
Shush.
As a spider or something like that.
When the hell were you at Dunkin' in Halloween?
I saw
that
it.
fuck.
So apparently, I don't procrastinate about eating my donuts.
You did not eat a donut at Dunkin' Donuts. Oh my God, I'm going to fist your asshole, Matt.
Yeah, I was fasting that day.
I was going
donut
fasting.
I was going fast at Dunkin'.
Oh my God, let's move on. You're making me ill. Number 3, eliminate your pitfalls, right? So if you do number 1 on the list, which was get honest about your fear around the thing or task that you're procrastinating about, this will guide you to understand what your pitfalls actually are along the way, right? So you realize that when you become stressed out, that you do what exactly, right? So for some people, it's like, I watch Netflix marathons, or I scroll mindlessly on social media, or for me, it's like cleaning, or, you might call a friend and just like gossip or whatever. Whatever it may be, you can work on stopping the stress-induced behavior. So if you are starting to work on your task and notifications, just for an example, on your phone start dinging away and you become distracted, just disable them. Like, people will be like, oh my God, this fucking phone. I'm like, turn the fucking beeping ding dong whistle.
Unless you want to be.
God. Oh my God, nothing pisses me off more than that.
Remember we were at that restaurant we were having lunch one day, and we were having sushi, and a guy next to us was just like, every time was like, beep, 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 beep. The damn thing was going off. I'm like, all right, I'm going to tell this guy to shut it off, because it was a small little eating area.
It was like 4 tables.
Like, excuse me, sir, could you please shut that and put it on silence? Yeah,
he was so rude.
It was just, he was so rude about it, and it's like, it was so obnoxious.
Sometimes I just want people to know that you're like a deathly black belt. Sometimes people like pipe, they get like they pipe up, and you're just like, dude, I could just take your Adam's apple and just squeeze. I know you wouldn't do that, but
overpower.
But this is says you.
That's how.
But where I come from, if I was a black belt, these hands would be
you'd be in jail.
Deadly weapons.
But Katie, it seems like the ones that actually are black belts
don't do that.
They want to avoid the conflict.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes.
And the ones that just grew up fighting girls in the streets with Vaseline on their face, like me, with my bamboo earrings, right? Throat punching girls and just ripping their hair out.
Thank God I met you.
Oh, you don't know. I was lethal.
I think Matt worked out his aggression at the gym, so in the real world, he could
survive.
Calm.
Oh yeah. I got kicked out of Catholic school in 6th grade because 2 girls jumped me in the lunchroom and I beat their asses.
Oh God.
Katie, I don't know what this says about my opinion of you, but I thought you were going to say you beat up a nun.
No, the nuns actually beat my ass, which is probably where all my anger issues came from, and why in 6th grade I beat these girls' asses. Don't jump me when I'm trying to eat my Lunchable.
God, Lunchables are the best.
Yeah, I was just trying to enjoy my friggin' handy snack, and you fucking punched me in the back of the head over some boy that I didn't even like. Now I have to show you who's boss.
Yes.
So eliminate your pitfalls. Just say like, okay, this is my thing that I know that I do when I get stressed out, aka scared, because it's a fear-based behavior.
Yeah.
And then stop doing those things, and also just like the phone thing.
Yeah.
Shut the notifications off.
And you feel like shit too. Like if you did waste a day on Netflix. Now, I love a good Netflix, but I feel so much better when my work is done and I know I earned it, right?
Yes.
So it's like I did everything I wanted to. It's Sunday and everything is where we wanted to do. Everything got done, and then you can just sit and feel good. That's not procrastinating. But you're using the distraction to actually take action on things that you need to be doing.
Yes.
After the Netflix is over, you're gonna be, oh God, I feel like shit.
I know.
I wasted this whole freaking day. This isn't done. That's not done. So it's almost opposite. You're trying to get out of something that you think is going to be painful, but
you're just prolonging the pain.
Prolonging the pain, and then you're not going to feel good about yourself, right? Because you're not making any progress.
And how many people just live in a prolonged pain state 24/7?
So many. And, it took me a long time, and I'm struggling with procrastination, but now I know, like identifying the pitfalls, identifying the triggers, right? Let's just take action. Let me make that phone call I'm supposed to make.
So when you say that, so you said that you wait till the very last minute to do your work.
Yes.
Right? To get ready. What did you say? To get ready
Sometimes
for something?
either a presentation or something like that, or selling something,
right.
or, making that phone call that could change the trajectory of my business.
Yes.
Those are things like, and it's fear-based, right? Because it's like, what if they say no? What if they're not ready for it? What if this? What if that?
Matt also doesn't like the non-sexy things.
Yes.
Matt likes the glory.
The glory is good.
But the non-sexy things is what makes the things of your life sexy.
All of that stuff is what makes it happen. Right. All of the phone calls, all of those connections. And those are the things I've beat that. I beat that. I am not afraid of making the phone calls. I'm not afraid of doing that. But sometimes you get into a rut. It's like, I don't want to make these phone calls today. I don't want to talk to this person today. I'll do it tomorrow. And, when I put it off, I don't feel that great about it, right?
One time, so Matt hates cleaning.
That's not a procrastination. That's just, I'm avoiding it.
And he's also a pack rat.
I just don't like it.
Like, he's also a pack rat. Like, today I said to him, he was putting on his socks. I go, are those fucking black nylons or those socks? Those shits are so old, you can actually see through them.
They were like, they feel like ladies' stockings. Like, they're so thin.
A pen. Like, I'm like, what are you doing?
I go, maybe I should probably pick up some socks.
Oh my God,
I've been
so
procrastinating
awful.
buying socks.
Or underwear. Like, I'll take his underwear out of the dryer and they'll literally be like see-through. Yeah. I could wear it like over, bank robber. Like, they would put the pantyhose over their face to distort their face. Like, I literally could wear them. So I just go like this in front of Matt. I put my fingers in the holes and I go, shh, and I just rip them in front of him. He's like, those are a good pair of underwear. I'm like, if I can fucking rip them with my hands, that's not a good situation. So the reason why I'm saying
I left you those little handles so you could rip them off of me.
My God, Becky.
I thought they were little.
I want to barf seriously right now. Gag me.
No, as far as the socks, what do I think I'm going to become a millionaire by not buying socks?
The reason why I'm telling this story.
But I'll spend $50 on a steak, right? In 2 seconds, or $20 on a nice bourbon for a glass or something like that. But I'm saving my money on socks and underwear.
So the reason why I'm telling this story, you fucking pack rat freak show, is because when we first moved into our new house, I was like, Matt, we have to go downstairs and we have to unpack these certain boxes. And he's like, I'll get to it. I'm like, the next week, Matt, the next year, the boxes were still not unpacked. And I'm like, I do everything. And like, he needs to step up and help me, right?
But I finally did.
And what happened? What happened when you opened the box, bitch?
What? When I opened the box? What?
One box was full of trash from the day that we moved out of our house.
Not stinky trash, just like paper.
It was a bag of trash, man.
Yes.
It was a bag of trash in a box.
We moved the trash.
We moved a trash box bag from our old home to our new home, and it sat there for over a year. And Matt opened the box like, I don't know if he thought it was going to be like silverware from his great-grandmother or like fucking Tiffany's glasses or something.
I was hoping to buy some new underwear with those Tiffany glasses. I was going to lock them.
Your probably old underwear that I ripped were in the bag too because it was trash. But I'm like, why would you procrastinate this long on doing this?
Yep. I was probably watching Netflix and felt really bad about myself afterwards when that trash stayed there.
Do you all out there in Ambitchious land see what I deal with? You bitches email me and you text me and you DM me and you tell me how bad I treat my husband. Well, look what the fuck I have to deal with, okay?
It's rough.
Exhibit A, as Pee Wee Herman would say.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit Z. Oh my God. All right. We'll move on and we won't hurt your feelings anymore today.
Thank you.
Number 4, get an accountability bitch.
Yes.
Right?
I have one and I live with one. She keeps me very accountable.
How nice of you. But it's true.
Yeah.
But when you get an accountability friend.
Yes.
I called her a bitch because we're sticking with the theme of our podcast here today. But it's true. Like if you say, hey, Flo, let's hold each other accountable.
Yes.
I don't know anyone named Flo.
Who the hell's Flo?
People still name their kid Florence, I'm sure.
What is it? That show Alice? That's the only Flo I have in there.
Well, Florence and the Machine.
Oh, okay. That's
Come on.
Florence.
I'm sure someone calls her Flo sooner or later.
You think so?
Props.
All right.
I mean, people call me all kinds of names too, so who the hell knows? Jesus Christ. So if you have a person that you can be like, hey, I am going to do this thing, and you're going to do this thing, and then you keep each other accountable by text messaging, by phone calls, emails, however you want to do it.
It helps.
It helps.
It helps tremendously. Yeah.
Right? And setting a timeline with the person and saying like, by this date, I'm going to do this thing. And maybe even going so far as to be like, and if I don't do it, I owe you $100 or something.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's painful. If you have to give $100 to someone or something,
it
hurts.
Not good.
Right? For you could just give people your rotten underwear.
Worse than giving away my socks.
Or your fucking Peds. Or your holy ass see-through socks.
My nylon socks.
I'm so turned on.
Is it? Yeah. I have them on now. You want to see them?
He was also wearing a shirt today that had holes all around the neck. I'm like,
that is my comfortable.
Who got at that, Fievel?
That is
what
my
Ratatouille? Like, what is happening?
It's my comfortable home in the morning having coffee shirt.
Well, I don't want to bang you when you look like fucking something from Thriller that just came from the ground and it's like, you know what I mean? All right, so
I'll get rid of that.
Fuck off. I'm actually holding you accountable right now to start stepping up in the holy clothing situation.
I will do it.
Thank you. Last but not least, get advice from someone who has already achieved what you desire. I really truly believe in my heart that there is no shame in your game to have a coach. Hire someone. Absolutely. If that is going to, because then when you're giving money, it makes it more abrasive. Don't you think?
It makes you more accountable, right? So it's like, I'm paying for this. I'm going to take action.
Right.
I'm not just going to be paying somebody and then not do it. Right. And if it's a good coach, they're going to be like holding you accountable. When you come back, it's going to be, how did you act on those 5 things we talked about?
Yes.
Right.
And so I think a lot of people think like, that's a sad day if I have to hire someone to hold me accountable. But I don't know. All the other times that you didn't have anyone holding you accountable, how did that work out?
I don't know. How many coaches does Tom Brady have? He has probably about 9 people that helping him get to where he wants to go.
100%.
And he has no problem. And
I have coaches too. You have coaches too.
I have coaches.
And we're coaches.
5 coaches. Yeah. I literally have 5 coaches.
So hire someone. Like, stop being a stingy bitch and friggin' step up and find the right person that's going to hold you accountable. And don't be ashamed to hire a coach. And I'm not just saying that because I am one, but I mean it. Yeah. It's like I pay people to friggin' coach me too.
Absolutely.
I'm not good at everything.
No.
Even though I pretend to be.
We pretend less.
Right?
That's not my lane. I got to get somebody else to do it.
So Jenna Williams, if you're listening to the Ambitchious podcast, email me at themisfitclub@gmail.com and you will get a $100 gift certificate to use towards anything KBMFC related.
That's awesome.
That was really good.
It was good.
I hope that I helped you guys. I mean, Matt didn't really do much, but I think I showed up in big ways.
I shared my dirty laundry.
Literally and figuratively.
Good job, babe.
Right? Well, thank you so much. Thank you, each and every one of you out there who show up week after week and help Ambitchious really become the movement it is meant to be. And like I always say, see you next Tuesday.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.